What's happening, people? So, been getting a ton of messages from a bunch of you guys asking what's my picks for this UFC. So, I tell you guys, I do have a couple bets. However, I'm not betting big on these ones. I don't like to bet big on some of these pay per views, right? As I said before. And I haven't really seen anything that really, wets the nips with so I prefer sometimes the parlay favorites, things like that. Nothing really stood out to me. I know Gregory Rodriguez, if he was minus 250, I'd definitely consider putting him on one of my parlays, but the fact that he's minus 350, that's a big favorite to add on the parlay, and you're not even going to get a double up really, so unless you're putting like someone who's minus 150 or 160 or something. So I'm not betting big, but I am looking at good value bets, right? So when I'm looking, what are good value bets, right? What stands out to me? The first thing that stood out to me going through this, right? Going to, let's say, Ian Machado Gary taking on Neil Magny. Now, who does the UFC want to win? Clearly, they want Ian Gary to win. So even let's say this is a close fight, it goes to decision. I'm leaning towards Ian Gary, right? Judges probably going to lean towards Ian Gary as well, even if it's a close fight. And let's say he's minus 500. Obviously, way too big of a favorite. So, not a lot of people are going to be putting Ian Machado Gary on your parlay, right? Because he's minus 500. It just makes no sense. So, what stood out to me is right here Ian Machado Gary to win on points plus 300. Plus 300. So, I'll place placed a bet on that. Plus 300 for the value. Ian Machado Gary, let's see here. His last two fights, Ian Machado Gary's are 2-2. So he's sorry, not 2-2. Two finishes, two decisions, right? He's only fought one ranked guy who may have been ranked number 15 or something at the time. Not even sure if he was D-Rod. Everyone else is pretty much no-namers that he's fought. And if you guys look at that fight with D-Rod, how did he set up the KO? It was a vicious head kick, right? D-Rod's more of a boxer, and he likes to level change a lot, right? Level change, and he likes to dig to the body, which opened up the head kick, right? Because the guy Neil Magny, dude, it's gonna be hard to head kick Neil Magny. He's 6'3", and he stands very upright. Ian Machado Gary doesn't have the heaviest hands, but let's see here. So Neil Magny he's 2-2 as well in his last four. He's got finished like his last 2-3 finishes are mostly submission losses. Most of the time, most of his losses are, I think he has 6 losses by submission. So Ian Machado Gary is not a submission guy. I think he has one submission on his record, which is like his second pro fight, but he's not a jiu-jitsu guy. He's not really the grappler. So I would argue that Neil Magny might be the better grappler out of the two. So I'm thinking, and all that shit talking that Gary was doing at the press conference is super cringe. And like, dude, your middle name is Machado now. You take it over your wife's name. Like, shouldn't it be the wife taking your name? This is very weird. It's weird, dude. And I just think Neil Magny, dude, he's coming in angry. I think it's gonna be hard to finish him. I do think Ian Gary is going to win the decision. I also think that if it's a close fight, they're going to probably lean towards Ian Gary as well. And I just think plus 300 for that. I could see, dude, Neil Magny hasn't been knocked out in, I think, 5 years. And that one knockout he did lose to, which 5 years ago was to Ponzinibbio, and that was in the fourth round. So he got knocked out in the fourth round by Ponzinibbio 5 years ago. Ponzinibbio was a heavy puncher, by the way. And that was 5 years ago. So, I mean, I think he's going to be able to last to the finish. And you're getting a guy who's minus 500. I think Neil Magny might be able to hang in there. And if it's a close fight, who knows? So let me see here. Also, I put a bet with what's his face? Pedro Munoz plus 162. I took that as well. I don't know why I'm feeling Pedro Munoz. I don't know, but I'm not really a Cheeto fan too much. I just think he starts slow, and for some reason I think Pedro might be able to get the decision on him. So like I said, these are good value bets. Nothing is like standing out as a guarantee, right? Like my last parlay I made with McKinney and Khalil Roundtree, right? Those where I was telling you, I was like, guaranteed these guys are winning. I don't have that confidence in this card here. Maybe on the next card, but I'm just looking at good value bets for the money. So, I mean, I got also a parlay here I could try to show for you guys. So, nothing just crazy that stands out, but I just hoping, sometimes you get lucky and not even too much lucky, but just I would say good value. Like if Chris Weidman and Brad Tavares here, if they were even odds, I would not take Chris Weidman. But the fact that he's plus 210 and the fact that he can out wrestle Brad Tavares all day, Chris Weidman can wrestle his ass off, and he might just do that. So for plus 210, good value for the bet. Same thing with Ian Gary. That's a hole in the system or something. Plus 300 for a decision. Neil Magny's got a great chin. I don't know if he's going to be able to KO Neil Magny. If he does, props to him because he's for real. But Neil Magny looked great at the weigh-in too. He's in shape. So, like I said, nothing too serious. So, just to wet your nips a bit. Good value for the bet, right? Plus 300. You throw that on a parlay or something, poof, you're hitting big. And yeah, but I'll tell you right now, the next fight night's coming up. That's where we're gonna shine. But yeah, if you guys need a place to BetUS promo code Iceman, and yeah, let's do it, brother.